Hello, welcome to another Daily Digest video. I'm Merriam. Today I am playing a blue-green sort of, I guess, value towny deck. We've got Coursers, which is one of the signature cards from Todd Stevens deck, but we also have Nissa, Steward of Elements, and Jace the Mind Sculptor as ways of manipulating the top of our library, and that sets up the deck to play 4 copies of the green, I believe it was Mythic, but the big green miracle card from Avacyn Restored, which is Revenge of the Hunted. Gives a creature +6/+6 and trample, and makes everything block it that can, and only costs 1 mana on the miracle, so we can set up some pretty huge attacks and huge board swings that way, and we'll see how it goes. Our hand is pretty good with turn 1 mana creature, which is always key, into a turn 2 Courser that can help start finding us more land drops, drawing us cards. If we can hit land 4, then go ooze plus mana like their spell, which is a really nice first 3 turns. Our opponent also mulliganed, so that was nice of them. See if they go further than just their 6. Nope. Keeps the 6 and scries the bottom. They're on the play. Serum Visions, okay. Could be one of the many Blue Moon variants, could be Storm, could be Jeskai, even with the basic island, although the straight Izzet decks are more likely. And top. Okay, so they found some cards they want. We have found a 4th land, which is also nice. And I imagine we will find out what our opponent's doing on this next turn. If they play a Brawl or an Electromancer, am I supposed to have to hold up Mana Leak? That just seems like a recipe for losing the game in a few turns, as opposed to losing the game immediately. I think regardless of what they do, I'm going to try to jam the Courser. Another basic island. Is that good? Do I miracle this? And just 7 my opponent? I kind of expect anything I do to get remanded. And if this gets remanded, I can at least play Ooze. So, sure. And I think, well, I'm assuming my opponent's a control deck with back-to-back basic island. Which makes these revenges kind of weak, but the rest of our deck is pretty good against the control deck, so I'm not too worried. Yes, we do get remanded. Okay, so this was definitely the best play against remand. I'm going to get an Ooze down. I'm going to try to hold up Mana Leak for a potential Jace if we don't have enough of a battlefield by then that Jace is no longer problematic. But yeah, Miracling against a remand there let us still develop our board, whereas Courser would have gotten our entire turn taken away. Oh, our opponent is taking turns. I see. How cheeky of them. Okay, well, let's get in with this Ooze. And try to resolve another spell. I'm going to play the Courser here. If it gets countered, I'll play Forest off the top, or out of my hand, and start exiling some stuff in case that's relevant. Usually these taking turns decks have some Snapcasters, so Ooze does something at least. Dictate in response. Well, that makes sense. Maybe I was supposed to hold up Mana Leak for that. I do like getting a clock down. Oh no, another Revenge of the Hunted. Gain some life. Deal with with this? Serum Visions, I guess. So, I guess our opponent could Miko Koro on their turn to stop this revenge. But that's a kind of pretty weak use of their turn. I'm not too upset if that's what they want to do. It looks like they're just holding up maybe a Cryptic or something of that nature. Yes, I would like to reveal Revenge of the Hunted. I draw this one first. Okay. I wasn't sure. I guess, yeah, I'm the active player. Mystic Snake is a nice one. Now we have this to resolve, and then I need to cast it. Which one do I target? I'll just target the cheaper one if they have a bounce spell. Neither has a ton of value. I'm thinking about what to do if they Cryptic here, whether or not I want to mana leak it, because that sets them up to untap cleanly and start time walking with a Dictate in play. I don't think I can let that happen, especially when I have Mystic Snake on the top of my deck. If they just use Cryptic to time walk me here, then I can mana leak them. They're just remanding me. Yeah, I'm going to let that happen. Gain some life. And attack for 5. And if I can just time walk them a couple times here with counter spells. Though I guess I am a little bit short. I'm hoping for them to tap out the next 2 turns, and I stop them with Leak and Snake. That gets me an attack for 5 next turn, brings them to 8, and then an attack for 7, which is where I'm 1 short. But if I can find just a land in that time, the Revenge will kill them. So that should be easy enough with Dictating Courser. So I like the way this game is progressing. Ooh. They might be trying to set up a turn where they have Time Walk with counter backup. But if I can find a land this turn, I can have 2 counter spells up. Yeah, let's draw this forest. And now they know about Mystic Snake. And I do have 3, I have 4, access to 4 blues, so that's fine. Is this a Cryptic command? No, okay. I think I would have mana leaked a Cryptic command there, just because I'm not going to be able to double counter spell if the Arbor Elf gets tapped, and that forces them to have everything next turn. So yeah, let's just attack for 4 now, and leave up both counter spells. Now we're in a position where this game might go on 1 more turn. Let's see another Dictate here, maybe an end of turn Mika Koro. Is this a Giga Drowse? Ugh. Ugh, that is not good. I imagine they're just tapping my 4 blue sources. So what's going on here? Breeding Pool, Island, Arbor Elf. Yep. I guess what I can do is, yeah, so let's make blue, untap here. Blue, blue, green. And this is the one targeting Breeding Pool, so we'll play Mystic Snake, target the Giga Drowse that's the original copy, which is targeting Breeding Pool, and then I can still have Mana Leak up. So, a Mana Leak that they don't know about, but I don't know. Okay, this is the turn. They didn't. I think they missed a land drop last turn. So yeah, because they only have 5 in play right now, so it'll be hard for them to. If they have another Giga Drowse would do it, because they just Giga Drowse first main. I can't do it, and then Time Warp. But other than that, they would need a 1-mana counterspell, a Dispel or something like that. Not that they're dead on our turn. I mean, I guess if they tap out down to 1 mana and we get to revenge them cleanly, that would do it. But yeah, they're not going to let that happen. So let's get rid of a Giga Drowse while we're at it. And yeah, why not? We'll get rid of a Rand. And now we do need Jace isn't that good because it just taps so much of our mana. We really need another Mystic Snake here. Okay, another Mana Leak is good. So to help play around Cryptic Command, I'm going to Coiling Oracle first main phase using the Arbor Elf. That way I get to draw into both Mana Leaks, and if they want to tap my team draw card, it will not affect my ability to cast them. We basically can't beat another Giga Drowse, but we couldn't beat one of those last turn if they also had a time warp, so... I'm not too worried about playing around that in this spot. Yeah. They don't really need to play around much here. It's unlikely that my deck has pump spells or reach, so I'll just take the 6. And I will pass the turn. Well, couldn't beat that. Yeah, they're just going to Giga Drowse here with 2 copies targeting each island. And we are probably dead. Giga Drowse is very good in this deck. They probably had Giga Drowse but didn't have an actual Time Warp. Wait, what's it? Oh, wow. Oh, man, they're targeting all of them, so there's no way I can... There's no way I can Mana Leak 1 and have another leak up. This Botanical Sanctum is so disappointing. If it was an untapped land, we'd be in much better shape. I guess like not... Was it not? Not Oracling was definitely not the right line, right? Yeah, I only have 4 blue sources. They would just tap them all down. I would have only had the 1 leak. So that wouldn't have done anything. You know, I'll just try to bluff something, I guess. And let's float a green. No. I guess I countered the original. I was just trying to get rid of the Giga Drowse and not the Remand. So I can do that now and just F6 and see how dead I am. Oof, and a telling time. Yes, maybe I should have done something about that. Wow, they telling timed into the Miracle Temporal Mastery. That is bad news. Okay. Well, we'll see if they fizzle at all. I doubt it. Yeah, maybe I was just supposed to float mana against it exactly telling time. Might have been better. Freeing up all this mana on this first turn to use cantrips like Serum Vision is so big for them. It just lets them set up. Yeah, they just topped. That's not good. Into exhaustion. Okay. Well, if I can find it. Oh, but the exhaustion. I don't get to take the next turn. That just frees them up in case they fizzle once. Another fine use of spare mana. Now they're getting to the point where this other mana leak is bad. There's the Time Warp. And another Dictate. Wow. Yeah, this is not going well. I'm not going to give it too much longer before I give up, but, you know, you never know. We'll say 2 more Time Warps, and I'll concede. That's my number. This White Splash, I think, is usually for Terminus now, so that's something to watch out for. I think that's what this is. If I remember from my list browsing, there is another Mastery into a Howling Mine. So they're using their mana really efficiently. Good sequencing from our opponent here to get the maximum number of cards. Have to commend them on that. Now, am I going to stick to my word and concede when they play this next Time Warp? I should have said I'll concede as soon as they show me a win condition. Because I would like to see if they have like snaps or some number of Part the Water Veils or some other card. I could play a Thassa at this point. It would be a 5/5. There's another Time Warp. Yeah, I'm going to wait till I see a win condition. I lied. I can keep F6ing here for days. Plus, I want to catch up on the clock. Maybe I can be the one to win via timeout on one of these videos for a change. Or maybe all their win conditions are in like the bottom 5 cards of their deck, and they don't have a way to reshuffle. That would be cute. There is a Part the Water Veil that they cast without Awaken, which is interesting, given that they had the mana for it. Guess they really wanted the extra card from Dictate. That's probably a sign that there's no way they're losing. Or that they don't have another Time Walk. Giga Drowse my island, sure. You know, if it was going to disrupt them, it would have done so by now, so... Honestly, it might have been better for them to hit the Oracle. But what does this do? You may reveal a card, put it on top of your library instead of putting it anywhere else. Okay, well, that's not a relevant ability for our purposes. Oh, this doesn't have any scrying involved, so whatever. They're down to 17 cards in their deck. Still haven't shown me a way to win the game. We're at the point where they're discarding to hand size. And we are ahead on the clock. So we've accomplished some things here, despite getting, for the most part, destroyed. The game paid, even though we got them to 3 or 2, I guess they put themselves to 2. The game was paced at their whim. So, oh, well, that is a way to not deck, I guess. And definitely a reason to tap my island. But do you have another Time Warp? One more should do it, right? They have 10 cards. They're going to go to 5 cards or 4 cards here, and then I'm tapped out on my turn because of the exhaustion. So I think that does it. I mean, I assume they have to have another one. They've gone through their entire deck, and they've cast they've only cast 3 Time Warps and 3 Masteries and 1 part. So they have to have at minimum 2 or 3 more for them to, and they can go to 9 cards left of the Mikokoro here, or just just activating the Esconta lets them see their entire deck. But you know, at this point, I'll just make them play it out. They're Mikokoro. They also know the bottom. I guess they topped off both visions, but they know bottom cards from the telling times, so they know the 2 bottom cards. I have not seen a Laboratory Maniac kill. That's neat. I'm glad I stayed here for this. Now they search their last card and then Minamo the Mikokoro. Is that the idea? I think that should do it because they have 7 more untapped here. They need 3, 4, 5, 6 of them to. They just have cryptic commands. Okay. Into Seer Vision, sure. Oh, tapped me out and drew their entire deck. What do we have? Evacuation and Spreading Seas seem quite bad. Nature's Claim is definitely good. Engineer Explosives is not very good because it doesn't kill Dictate. Dispel seems awkward just because it's not very good against Giga Drowse, and it doesn't counter most of the things in their deck. But we have so many weak cards to bring out that I think it's good enough. So I definitely want to bring out all my revenges. I question whether or not Fracturing Gust is good. I can protect it with a Dispel, I guess, but ugh. Ugh. That's probably better than a Revenge. I don't think I want to bring in 2 of them, though. Especially because it kills Corsair Crufix, so that's a non-bo. But killing Howling Mine and Dictator Crufix is pretty important. That might have been my mistake, was not leaving out the Mana Leak for the Dictate, but I did really want to establish a clock. And they needed multiple Giga Drowses to get through my counter wall, so I think the way it lined up, I was a favorite. They just had the goods. This is not a matchup we can afford to be slow out of the gates, because they're going to start remanding us, and if they get to 7, 8 turns to set up as opposed to 4 or 5, they're going to find what they need. So I'm going to mulligan any slow hand that doesn't have a lot of disruption. Sand does have a piece of disruption, but only 1 land. I think it's also a mulligan. I really just want a mana creature. Okay, well, I got my mana creature, but not much else. I'm going to fetch here, so I don't really care about that card. I really need to hit a Corsair here for turn 2. Kind of hope they have turn 2 Howling Mine, because that would help me by just drawing an extra card before I kill it. A Corsair into Jace with a land on top after that. That's what I'm looking for. Hello to Fountain. Uh, Leaving the fetch in my hand in case I draw a Courser. It's the land I'd rather have up after playing it. Oh, there's a Hollow Mine. Nice. So we're going to get an extra card here. Oh, there's a Jace. Now I really want to... Yeah, I'm going to land this Jace. I think that's worth giving them a card. Let's brainstorm. And because of the Howling Mine, I'm not going to have a card on top. I can't accept this land for Courser. I guess I could just be afraid of them shuffling my deck, and if they do that, I want to get rid of these two. So let's put those there. I don't think they have a way to look at my hand, which would be the other consideration to try to conceal information. Because I could get a shuffle on my upkeep to actually shuffle those cards away, but I'm going to be using my mana very differently in these next few turns. Gyre Reach Sanitarium. Okay, I'll draw another card. I will brainstorm. I will discard some lands I don't need. So now I have 5 mana available, which means I am going to play a Scavenging Ooze. Beginning of each player's draw step. Yep. I'm going to pass the turn here so that if they do something on end step, then I'll kill the Howling Mine. But if they don't, I'm going to Nature's Claim on the upkeep to pick the fight on their turn. Assuming they're going to dictate here, I'm going to Mana Leak that and then blow up this Howling Mine. But no, they're just using Gyre Reach Sanitarium. Yeah, let's discard the Noble. That one's not so good. It's also a creature I can exile with Ooze to maybe increase a clock. Engulf the Shores. Ugh. Engulf the Shores is annoying. Especially because it's an instant. Makes me hesitant to exile with this Ooze, even though I really want to make the mana efficient play with Mystic Snakes and stuff in my hand. I guess I do have Dispel, so if they engulf, I can Dispel it, and that's actually really good for me. Okay, so let's exile this Noble. And this would be a good spot for them to... Okay. Play a Courser. Play this land. Okay. I definitely like getting Courser here. It'll help me make land drops because I definitely want to use all my mana. Now I can attack with this Ooze for 4. And do I play the Arbor Elf or hold up the Dispel alongside the Leak? So like, what happens if we get Giga Drowsed here? I'm not going to be able to play a counterspell after a Giga Drowse, so I think I'm just going to get the Elf down. I'm also not too concerned. It's going to be really hard for them to just go off immediately without Howling Mine or anything like that in play. So I just want to get mana down. I think one counterspell is good for this turn, and now every other turn I'll start leaving up as much as I can. This is a Dictate. Okay, well, I guess this is a way we get punished. If they have their own Dispel or a way to defend the Dictate from this mana leak. Okay, they don't. Thankfully. It's going to be unlikely that they do. Mana leaking there did leave us exposed to Terminus, if that's what they have, but given that they have Engulf, I'd be less inclined to say they have Terminus in their deck, so I'm not sure what the white is for. I've seen Timely Reinforcements as another card. That's not great against our deck. Oh, we could be getting Exhaustion. I didn't think about that either. Search into Exhaustion would be really good. Really good. Okay, we got to make a land drop. Excellent. Let's brainstorm again. Always brainstorm. Oh no, I want this one. I want this one. I think I just want the most lands in place, or most untapped lands, so let's play the Field of Ruin off the top. And we can get a shuffle effect with Field of Ruin, also get another island. Now let's try attacking. They're 18. It's kind of annoying. Am I supposed to be attacking with a mana creature here to make it a 3-turn clock? No, because I can use a Mystic Snake to do that, or Lumbering Falls, so. Let's just get in for our 5. And pass the turn. I will discard the Sanctum. We have 8 mana here, which is enough to double Mystic Snake, because we do have exactly access to 4 blue mana. So that is good. And I'm going to be aggressively Mystic Snaking if they play things on their turn. They discard the Lab Maniac. That is a sign that their hand is somewhat weak and they need all their resources just to go off. But they do probably have an alternate win condition. That is another creature I get to exile with use, though. They might be thinking about trying to get another card in their graveyard, yeah, with this trigger on the stack. Oh, no. I'm not letting this happen. Why did I just do that? I was like trying to be quick about something. I don't know. That was bad. But because it did take me off another blue mana. It shouldn't punish me because they're pretty well tapped out at this point. But let's exile this Lab Maniac. This will also prevent the search from transforming, which is why I did that. So now they're down to 5 cards. I think the extra mana on this turn is more important than the extra scry on the next turn. They keep the card on top. Okay, end step. don't want to give them access to any extra mana on this turn, but I do want to use the shuffle effect. So I'm just going to deal with that as opposed to the Sanitarium, which isn't very effective. If they spend 3 mana activating it, I'd be very happy. Get an island. They might be playing a Dictate here. That would be pretty good. Nope. Just floating the mana. Yeah, that Fracturing Gust is not very good. Brainstorm again. Ooh, and now a mana leak. So I have 3, 6, 7, 8, can go up to 9 mana next turn, which is enough to Snake Dispel or Snake Leak Dispel. Excuse me. Let's get the untapped land again. And do some attacking. Not with the mana creatures. Get in for 8. And we are in very good shape. They're now at 5. They're going to have to go to 4 with this fetch. And I don't see them winning a counter war here. Mystic Snake doing its job. They're going to be up to 7 mana with the Azcanta. I guess they could potentially Terminus me here on this draw. That is a good draw step. I could try to let this resolve and just beat them through that, but that seems bad. Mystic Snake, especially because it just gives them an Azcanta activation, which I do not want to do. If they let Mystic Snake happen and then try to resolve a Terminus, if that's what they have, or Engulf the Shores, I have multiple counter spells for. The fact that I still have Snake plus Dispel after this is big. Cryptic Command, counter, and draw a card. I kind of don't want to show them Dispel. Like they haven't made a land drop this turn. What can they reasonably cast that actually affects me winning the game? So I think I'm just going to mana leak, even though that takes down Mystic Snake, which is a guaranteed win. Yeah, the odds were just so low. Okay, well. Everything went according to plan in that game. You're able to establish a clock early with the Jace and then disrupt their cantrips, permanents, Dictate and Howling Mine, those effects, and then win the counter war by making a bunch of land drops and holding up counter spells. And we do have a good number after board: 4 Mystic Snake, 3 Leak, and 2 Dispel. With the amount of card filtering we have between Nissa, Jace, Courser, Coiling Oracle, not too hard to find them. The Mika Core also helped out growing our scavenging ooze. So that was nice. All off a mulligan to 5. Man, this Lumbering Falls is super awkward. But I think this is a keep. Even though I don't have any of the disruption right now, the most important thing for me to have is the clock and the card filtering, because that'll find me the counter spells. So I do think this is a keep. Or there's definitely a chance we just get run out of the building. We also have lost our advantage on the clock. The game definitely could come down to that. Both players right now at about 7 minutes. Okay, no Howling Mine is good. Unfortunately, we can't play Jace even with this Arbor Elf because we can't untap the Lumbering Falls. I do still think the Arbor Elf is more important. It's also better against Remand than playing the Scavenging Ooze. And we get in for a point. That's always nice. And Lumbering Falls. Miko Koro. Ooh. Okay, well. I'm going to play the Courser and hope to hit a land drop off the top. And hold up this Nature's Claim for a Dictate, which I'm expecting on this turn. Or are they just activating Mikakoro? Okay. This one's the each player draws a card, so we'll just get that Coiling Oracle right now. Still no land drop. And just passing. Still no land drop. Wow. Okay, well, I'm going to play Coiling Oracle and really try to hit a land. If this was some sort of permanent that Nissa would hit, I probably would have gone for Nissa. But it's a leak that I want in my hand. Especially if I can find like a breeding pool at the top or a fetch land. Yeah, they resolved their Dictate. Yeah, they definitely wanted to do that before with this trigger on the stack. So now let's get this. And that's a land. And even enters untapped. Okay, so we gain a life there. Now I'm definitely going to hold up this mana leak, so I need to untap the forest first. And let's Nature's Claim that Dictate. And attack for 2. So now things are going pretty well. I have mana leak up, I have some creatures on the battlefield, I'm going to be making land drops. I really wish I had Utopia Sprawl to go with these Arbor Elves. It's weird to see Arbor Elf plus Noble. Normally it's Noble plus Bird or Sprawl plus Elf. And they're sort of mixing and matching here. Also, Sprawl Elf is really good with Jace because you can cast Jace on turn 2. Do I have any desire to play the Nissa here? I kind of want to get another creature on the battlefield. Maybe getting the Jace down is good. This is not a great clock, only 3 damage. Because I want to hold up the Arbor Elves. But they do, like, I'm not super, and I'm also not that afraid of them actually I kind of want a Nissa. I'm not that afraid of them going off. So let's Nissa for 2. Do I have to hit this? Next, yeah, 2. Man, I am definitely going to be the one to lose on time. And let's scry. And bottom and bottom. Arbor Elf not great. This Nissa is a sizable clock because next turn I get to plus it again to get up to 6 and threaten a lethal. Engulf the Shores. Definitely mainly. Oh, hold on, I gotta untap my land first. I mean, if they can go off here or have a dispel, it's pretty good. The Nissa is still excellent, so I'm still happy to get that down. Oh, also of note, I can't Mystic Snake and Mana Leak on the same turn. I do only have access to 2 blue, so I definitely want to play something that turn. And the Nissa is the most threatening thing. So there's always the chance that we're dead here, but pretty unlikely, given that they don't have any way to generate a lot of cards. 347 should be enough to finish this one off. But we're probably going to be cutting it close. no land drop. I like that. I'm just going to, again, set up the lethal with this Nissa on the next turn. This can also dig for a land drop. The other Mystic Snake is nice. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to leave this snake on top. And okay, attack for 3. So now I'm worried about Giga Drowsing to kill me, which I can't really do anything about. So I'm just going to play another creature. Maybe I should just play the Arbor Elf and get more mana again. Yeah. If I find a blue land next turn, I can try to Nissa with double Mystic Snake up. Although I guess that wouldn't be lethal then. If I had to cast both Mystic Snakes. Yeah, there's the Giga Drowse. They're going to Giga Drowse end. And not having drawn a way to get a breeding pool onto the battlefield is hurting me now. Yeah, I don't think there's any point in snaking here. I guess we'll float blue, but I'm down now to 2.5 minutes. Okay. Oh, they did that on main phase too. That's smart. Oh, I should have played Jace. If I had noticed that they were doing that on main phase, that would have been actually smart. Oh, now they get the dictate down too. That's really good. I thought they were just going to activate Mika Koro. Now we might be dead, but not much we could have done about that. Scry to the top, and top. That is not good. And the Time Warp. Yep. Here it goes. Making land drops. I don't like seeing that. Another Time Warp. Needed a breeding pool. Maybe the card below this Mystic Snake is the breeding pool I needed. I don't know. There's a Temporal Mastery. So I've gone through 3 Time Walks at this point. And there's a Howling Mine. 4 Time Walks. Their hand is all spells, I guess. Temporal Mastery. Okay, there's 5 of them. Given that they haven't drawn a ton with any given Time Walk, it might be tough for them to get through their deck. But probably not. There's another one. So they've drawn a bunch. 3 Masteries and 3 Time Warps they've already been through. We know they have at least 1 part. Now the Escanta is pretty big, because they've been at least making land drops. Top off that Visions. Yeah, we are in rough shape. And top off that one, although one of them was guaranteed to be a top. There is a part. And now they probably have another Giga Drowse to tap all these Arbor Elves. Yeah, if I'd realized they did that during main phase, I could have Jaced and potentially hit another blue land. Or a breeding pool in the 2 cards below the Mystic Snake. Where is this going? Me? I'm going to block. Giga Draft stops me from blocking entirely, so as long as they let me block, I will, and force them to keep taking that many more turns. Now they found a Jace. So that is gonna... They don't have another turn right now, though. That's the Mika Koro. And there's Exhaustion. Okay. And unfortunately, I'm a little short off the Nissa ultimate. Ooh. Now Giga Drowse. So I know they have a Jace in hand. It wasn't hitting the blue source, I guess, but still should have done it. And now I'm 1 mana short because I chump blocked and they tapped a thing. So I guess the best I can... oh, I can just untap 2 lands with this Nissa. That is definitely an option. We're playing this land off the top. So I'd be throwing the Nissa away. I could attack for 5, I guess, and then have 4 mana up for a Mystic Snake. But I'm probably not winning any sort of war like that, right? Oh, or I can just 0 and get this other land. That's a thing. So now I still get to Mystic Snake without losing my Nissa. Definitely want that, and pass the turn. And I will discard a Scavenging Ooze, sure. Also, again, worried about time. I'm now down to 40-something seconds. They're on 1.5 minutes. Now I've got to... do that first. Okay, now I can start F6ing. But I might have screwed myself, I think. Yeah, they just have the remand. Now I'm probably dead, although... really, like, how many more Time Walks do they have? Are they just going to deck themselves now? They only have probably 1 Time Warp and maybe 1 other, but that's enough, actually. If they have 10, I think I'm dead. Yeah, to Lab Maniac. I might just be dead to an exhaustion. Okay, there's another part. Yeah, that'll probably do it. Because now they just need to find the last Time Walk, and they're going to do it with 30 seconds on the clock. Well, they ran through the mechanics pretty quickly. Gotta give them credit. And not much I can do here. Are they just passing? Oh, they have the next turn. They just cast the last Time Warp, right? Why is the game not over yet? Okay, they just had a Cryptic. Sure. That ended the game. Well, I think that game turned on the fact that we didn't find a breeding pool, so that all those Arbor Elves weren't blue sources, and their Giga Drowse only needed to be cast for 2. They were able to get the Dictate down as well. I definitely could have given myself a shot to find it off the Jace and should have, and that would have changed the game. So that was just me not realizing they were main phasing the Giga Drowse. But then, I mean, the reality is that those Arbor Elves should probably just have been Birds of Paradise. You know, unless you have Utopia Sprawl to go with them, Arbor Elf is worse because it's not guaranteed to be blue mana, and in that case, we got punished for it. So those have been Birds of Paradise. We would have forced a much bigger Giga Drowse. They wouldn't have been able to get the Dictate down, and we probably would have won. So yeah, I mean that just goes to show you those small decisions that you make, and you decide to put the Arbor Elf in your deck. I don't know, maybe because it has some power and can attack that birds can't. You don't have something like Township to pump it up and make the flying relevant, but that was a game where the difference in mana production capability probably made the difference. And, you know, sometimes it happens. But really nice, tense, close match on multiple fronts. Hope you enjoyed watching it, and you can come back and see me on Monday. Bye.